How's it going? I'm Ryan. Today I'm going to go over the one trade that I took on NQ, as well as a quick recap of yesterday's trade. So yesterday I took a quick scalp. Wasn't on stream. I only had about 20 minutes to trade in the morning. So it was super limited, super short, and it was a bit of a mistake as well. But we'll go over that, and then we'll go over today, and we'll recap kind of where we're at. So had two evals right at about 50, just sitting at like starting value. Yesterday we made about 700. Today we made 500. So up 1200 in the past 2 days. And go over kind of what I was watching. But first, let's recap yesterday's trade just really quick. So basically, what we had was in the pre-market we had a big spike up, then we pulled back off the open, we kind of started to drop, then we held this zone, we pulled back up and we started to hold this zone. We also had the previous day high day in here. So once we held both, I entered long, risking off the bottom of this zone, and then targeting these equal highs up here, or like this little consolidation. So entering in here, looking to capture a move up to here, risking this much. So risking about 20 or 22 points, going for about like 40 points, or 30 something points. Yeah, about like 33 points. So like about a 1.5 to 1 risk reward ratio there. I didn't capture this full move, and the reason being is I recently added this 2-minute chart to my screen, and instead of it being MNQ, it was on NQ, which I didn't realize. So I entered with 5 NQ contracts instead of 5 MNQ, so my leverage was 10 times what I was trying to do. I entered and we started to go up, and I immediately realized that something was off just looking at the position and seeing that I was up like $600 when price only moved a couple points. Indicated that something was wrong, and then I immediately noticed that I was on NQ, not MNQ, so I exited. I just cleared out of the position immediately. And then you can see that that trade went out to work very well. We did pretty much have minimal pull, or yeah, essentially no drawdown here, and went right up to that target. So the trade worked out, and I would have made probably like 3 to 400 had I taken my actual position size that I was wanting. But I ended up making like 600 because I took 10 times the amount of position that I thought. So the trade idea worked out. It just not really the way I expected it, right? Well, but the trade did work out. So we consider that a win. I just entered with the wrong size, the wrong contract accidentally, and quickly reversed that mistake. That was yesterday's trade. So today's trade, coming into it, we were opening within yesterday's range. The biggest thing that I was watching is we kind of had this double bottom down here, and then we had these swing highs up in here in this zone. So what I wanted to see was us break. If we're going to go long, what I wanted to see is us break higher and then pull back into this and then continue, which is the exact trade I took. If I was going to look short, what I would want to see is us lose this zone, break below yesterday's low a day, and then I would have looked for hopefully some sort of short opportunity in here to take it down to these lows. That was the play to the downside. If we rejected in here and pulled down, I wanted to see us break below here, look for some sort of short entry down to this zone in here. Long was, like I said, a break above this zone, a pullback, a hold, and then continuation up to the next. That's what happened. That's what we traded. So these zones are based off of 8-hour volume profiles. I'm not going to go into it too much, but it's just looking like where liquidity is. And then essentially what we had was a bull flag on the 5-minute. If I can draw this real quick, we have like a bull flag here on the 5-minute, and then that same thing shows up on the 15-minute. We break out. We got the retest here on the 5-minute. I considered entering, but I waited a little longer because we hadn't broken above the pre-market high, and that's also part of what I wanted to see. But we got that on the 5-minute and the 15-minute. You can see that bull flag, that breakout, pulling back and kind of retesting that area of consolidation, and I entered. The EMAs were bullish. We were holding that EMA fine. The only concern I had was there's a few times we rejected off that pre-market high once we pulled below it. We had a few 1 and 2-minute candles just rejecting right off that level, which was my only real concern, is potentially we set a lower high there and then move lower. So my stop loss was below this zone around like 826. My entry was 856, so 30-point stop. My take profit was high a day or so, I actually got some slippage that made me have a bigger win because we got price spike up so fast. But my take profit initially was about high a day, and then my next runner take profit was at the bottom of the zone around 906. So about a 1-to-1 risk to reward on that first trim, and then about a 1.5 to 1 risk to reward, or a little less than a 2-to-1 risk to reward on that second trim. And yeah, that's it. It was pretty simple. I was just looking at, we had a double bottom. If we break out here and then pull back and hold, everything's bullish. EMAs are bullish. Then we can see continuation up to this next area of liquidity, which we did. And we saw us chop around for a little bit before a little breakout. And yeah, this one worked out about as well as you could ask. I had a little bit of drawdown. You can see I entered here. We drew down less than 20 points, about 18 points. The only real concern with this trade is that I wasn't sure how much risk, whether I wanted to put it at the bottom of the zone or kind of like below these wicks here once they formed. And I kind of went back and forth. I originally put it down here. Once we formed these wicks, I moved it up below them, and then I moved it back down to its original position, and the trade played out well. So maybe that's something to think about, is understanding how much, because it was about a 1-to-1 initially. With the runner, it was more than a 1-to-1. I was risking a little over 300 to make like 500, so it's better than 1-to-1, but maybe there's some potential for a little less risk. But I guess at the end of the day, the win and the winning ratio matters, because if I'm not taking a loss, then my stop loss doesn't really matter where it is. But had it come down and stop me out, then obviously it matters. Whether it's 20 points or 30 points, it makes a bit of a difference. But that's it. We are 1,200 up on these accounts, just trying to be patient, trying not to trade anything that we shouldn't be, and wait for setups, kind of follow a little bit of a game plan, and been working the past couple days. Hope it continues that way. That's all I got for you. Thank you for watching. Peace out. Hope you have a great day. I'll be back every morning to stream live, and then not every day, but I try to make recaps of my trades as well. That's all. Peace.